You're still able, you're still able. When did I start to forget all of the great things you did? When did I throw away faith for the impossible? How did I start to believe that you weren't sufficient for me? Why do I talk myself out of seeing miracles? You are more than able. You are more than able. Jesus, you are more than able. You're still able, you're still able. When did I start to forget all of the great things you did? When did I throw away faith for the impossible? How did I start to believe that you weren't sufficient for me? Why do I talk myself out of seeing miracles? You are more than able. You are more than able. Jesus, you are. You are more than able. You are more than able. Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? And it's easy for you. Oh. Now I see all that I have, and I got my confidence back, and I put my trust in the one who still does miracles. You do miracles. You are more than able.
As you will have your testimony. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Para Monthly Meeting. This is the first in 2026, our year of increase. And we trust God because God is able, God is able, God is able to make you fruitful. Wherever you are watching us from, you are welcome this morning. Para Family Foundation is an NGO that support families that are trusting God for the fruit of the womb. And we are here to support you all the way. All the way, we are here to support you. So today we are talking about navigating, the emotional challenges of infertility. And you will agree with me that indeed, infertility is a roller coaster journey. And we do understand this because we've been there and we know what it means to go through it. And that is why we are here to support you. So, like I said this morning, we are going to be talking about how to navigate through this journey and also reassuring you that you are not alone. Para family is right beside you. And today we are going to have this our guest this morning, but before I bring him up, I would like you to take your pen, take your book or your writing material so that you can jot down things that you will walk this journey with. You don't just want to, hear it and then you don't have something to go back to refresh, yourself of what you have been taught. Because we are having someone that is been at a conference before and is loaded and is going to share, things with us this morning. And I will just quickly read his profile um, before I bring him on this morning. Is Dr. Leonard Chukwuka Okonkwo. He was actually at our last conference as a speaker, and it's a privilege to have him back this morning to speak to us. Dr. Shukuka is a chartered psychologist, psychotherapist, and addiction specialist with over 3 decades of professional experience in clinical psychology and behavioral medicine. He is the clinical director of ASIS Mental Health Services Limited and a consultant clinical psychologist at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT, where he has served since 2008 as part of multidisciplinary healthcare teams, providing psychotherapy, addiction treatment, trauma care, and clinical hypnotherapy. Dr. Okonkwo holds a PhD in psychology from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria and has advanced training in CBT, REBT, hypnotherapy, trauma-focused interventions, and psychological assessments. His clinical research interests include infertility-related psychological care, grief and loss, couples and family therapy, and the psychological management of chronic medical condition. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Association of Clinical Psychologists and a committed mental health educator. Dr. Okonkwo is widely respected for integrating evidence-based practice with compassionate care, supporting individuals and couples to navigate complex emotional challenges with resilience and hope. And I can assure you this morning that your hope will be rekindled on this journey. You can testify to the fact that of what I have said about Dr. Okonkwo, that is the best person to, go through this with us this morning. And like I said, you're welcome. Make sure that you please mute yourself. Make sure that you please mute yourself and also follow through the teachings this morning. I would like to bring Dr. Okonkwo up now. You're welcome, sir. Let's welcome him. Let's make welcome Dr. Okonkwo this morning as he takes on the floor. You're welcome, sir. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. You can go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Ma. Thank you very much for bringing me up here once again. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be the presenter. Great honor. to be the presenter this morning. I'm using a system that I'm not very familiar with, and my PA is not around yet because it's quite early. But I just tried to manipulate all I could manipulate with the help of um, the founder. And I think I'm not doing too badly so far. But if for any reason it's not coming out clear, please just pardon me. I'm just trying to learn. All right. So happy
You're
to be
welcome,
here.
sir. It's okay.
Thank you, ma. Yeah, I know that the slide is supposed to be bigger than this, but I'm looking for what to touch. Okay, I've seen one full screen, but I'm afraid that if I touch something now, everything will just scatter.
Do you want me to share from here for you?
I think it's okay now, isn't it?
Okay. It's okay now. It's okay.
It's, yes, it's bolder now.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So we are talking about navigating the emotional challenges of infertility. And I'm a clinical psychologist, a psychotherapist, and a hypnotherapist. Um, as time goes on, we'll touch on one or two other things like that that have to do with infertility. So let's just go right on to the presentation of this morning. Wow. Sorry, I don't know why the thing is not sharing, it's not responding. Let me, yeah, it's coming. It's just right on time. I'm trying to get this thing to, yes, yes, you're on. I'm on. Yes, I'm just about to start. Okay, let's move now. All right, so setting the tone for today, just something that we have heard over and over and over again, but can never hear too much of it. And just talking about what it really is. Infertility is not only a medical issue, it's something also that affects the heart and the mind. And when you talk about what affects the heart and the mind, definitely your emotions are involved. But it's also very important for us to understand that even when you feel these emotions, that does not mean that you are weak. Your emotions are not weak. They are normal. What is to be expected? Normal human reactions. Now, when emotional stress is ignored, it can make the journey harder. And that's why we are talking about this, so that you can know some of the things to expect, so that you don't ignore these things and make the journey harder. So taking care of your mental health improves strength as individuals and as couples. So that's why we are going in this direction today and touch one or two things that I believe will help us on our journey. So what will we cover today? We understand the emotional impact of infertility. We'll look at how stress affects the body and fertility, and then protecting your marriage during this journey. Then look at practical coping tools that work and how faith and emotional strength can work together. So, what is infertility? Infertility generally is when you have tried to conceive for 12 months or more without success. Just simply put, as you're having unprotected intercourse at the right time for 12 consecutive months or more without success. And it's very important to understand that it can affect men, it can affect women, and it can affect both men and women. And sometimes doctors cannot find a clear cause. That is the truth. You go to the hospital, you carry out investigations, and what you are getting is we can't find anything responsible for the inability to conceive. After 12 consecutive months of trying to do the right things. And at this very point, emotional support should go hand in hand with the medical treatment. If not, the journey will be made harder. So why does this journey feel so heavy? It feels heavy because the waiting can feel endless. Like the Bible says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. You get into marriage like every other person, excited, expecting that maybe after 9 months or 10 months, you invite people for naming ceremony. Of course, let me quickly say that, yeah, we can have primary infertility and secondary infertility, which means you may have had a child, you may have been able to conceive at one time or the other. Then after that, it becomes difficult. And then once you start to try to achieve conception, it begins to feel so endless because month after month, you see your period, and that can really be distressing. Each month may bring hope, then disappointment. Start looking forward to what the month is going to bring in. Then suddenly the sign comes that pregnancy has not been achieved, and it can shake your sense of identity. Because of these things, many people suffer quietly because others don't understand. People think, like I always say, the questions of life sometimes it's not yes or no. Sometimes you just say, what is this? You expect it to be a direct answer. But sometimes the journey can be a little bit longer, but other people will not understand because they think it is a structured 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So many people suffer quietly because other people don't understand. Let's look at common emotional reactions. Now, the common emotional reactions that can be associated with infertility or delay in conception is grief. That feeling of sadness, that feeling of losing something, it comes again and again. That feeling of not being complete comes again and again. That something is missing. And with that comes anxiety before test results. Each time you go for tests, the anxiety builds up, and then the test result comes out and it's a negative. So these are things that are usually associated, common emotional reactions, anxiety, then anger and frustration. As time begins to increase, you begin to feel more and more angry. Angry at yourself, angry at people, angry at God sometimes, angry at the country, angry at almost anything that you can lay your hands on that you think could be a factor or responsible. And that goes hand in hand with frustration. Frustration is what stands between you and your goal. And once something stands solidly between you and your goal, it creates a lot of frustration. You want a child. But before you can have a child, there has to be conception. And once that is not coming, the emotion of anger easily builds up. Gradually, people begin to pull away from others because of shame. You begin to avoid certain gatherings. When people are doing naming ceremony, you probably want to avoid such meetings because you don't want anybody to ask you what's going on. When is it going to be your turn? And sometimes you avoid family meetings or family gatherings because people are going to ask you, yeah, what is going on? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. And there are some, very traditional families where, pressure begin to mount on their son, on their daughter. Maybe you should take another wife, or maybe you should withdraw from that marriage and take another husband. To avoid all these pressures coming from left, right, and center, there's a tendency to pull away from others. And also because of shame, that feeling that I am not able to do what others are doing. And it looks like it gives a feeling of incompleteness. That again is another common emotional reaction. Let's look at how stress affects the body. Now, ongoing stress disrupts sleep and hormones. Now, the process is natural, it's a natural process aided by hormones. And these hormones work better when the situation is, when things. Hello, am I still on?
Yeah, we were waiting for you to get back.
Okay, yes, I'm back now. But it's like my screen is not, showing. Let me get back to it. So sorry, I'm still learning a lot of these things. Okay, I think this way. I'm looking for how to share my screen. Okay. Right, I think I'm back. So I was talking about how stress affects the body. I said ongoing stress, chronic stress disrupts sleep and the workings of the hormones in the body. And what that simply means is that, naturally, sleep is a repairer. When we are sleeping, the body is able to carry out its normal repairs after all the days wear and tear. And that is the time also that the workings of the body are well regulated. The hormones are able to work better when the body has adequate sleep and adequate rest. But when there is stress, the stress that we go through, particularly this chronic stress, can disrupt sleep and disrupt the working of the hormones. The body starts or stays in the alert mode for too long. The last time I spoke about the autonomic nervous system. In the autonomic nervous system, we have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, now let me bring it down. What that simply means is that in the presence of stress, the body is at an alert, making the body, act, in a either flight or flee or freeze mode. In other words, the body is just at alert. The body is just, waiting to get instruction. What next? What next? What do I do to avoid this? That's because the signal that the body is getting is that something is wrong. And when the body starts feeling this signal that something is wrong, the body stays at alert for too long. One thing that keeps that going is when we think too much, when we worry too much. And then worrying keeps the stress active. Learning to calm the nervous system protects your health. So normally, when the body is stressed, it is it works against the fertility process, which means that one of the things that we have to do as people on this journey is to bring down the level of stress as much as possible. So ongoing stress disrupts sleep and hormones. The body stays in an alert mode for too long, and then worrying, overthinking keeps the stress alive and active. And learning to calm the nervous system protects your health. Now, when self-worth is affected, part of the emotions you have is when you begin to look at yourself. You begin to blame yourself. You begin to feel like you are less than what you are. The value you place on yourself begins to go down because you feel you are not doing what others are able to do. And it makes you begin to feel that you are less of what you are. That is very counterproductive. You begin to blame yourself. Even the society may make you feel incomplete. If you remember the story of Anna and Penina, who every time they came to Shiloh, she felt incomplete. And anytime there is an argument and the issue of a child is brought in, naturally, it brings her mood down. Society may make you feel incomplete. The way they go about asking questions, when is it your turn? It will be your turn next time. This one, that one, that one. It begins to make you feel incomplete. And then comparing yourself to others increases this pain. You begin to look at the other people, your siblings, your friends. Say, what are they doing right that I'm not doing? What sin did I commit? Where did I go wrong? And then you begin to ask, is it that I'm not praying enough? All these things, are because you are comparing yourself. When people are giving testimony, and everybody is looking at you, you start to feel, when is it going to be my own turn to give my own testimony? The truth of the matter is that your value is not defined by your ability to conceive. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy will surely come in the morning. So always remember this, that your value is not defined by your ability to conceive. Another thing that happens as a result of all these things is that it begins to strain marriage. Couples may begin to blame each other. It is your fault. Maybe it's not your fault. You are working too hard. You are not coming home on time. You are not, paying attention to this. You are not paying attention to that. You are not taking your medication as you are supposed to. They begin to blame each other as responsible for the situation. And these things naturally begin to strain the marriage. Even intimacy can start to feel like a task. It begins to feel mechanical. It becomes mechanical. It's as if everything about intimacy has to do with conception. The fun is taken out of it. And what you have as a result of that is that, it's just, there's no joy in it anymore because everything has to do with timing. Okay, your ovulation is tomorrow. We must meet today. We must skip today and move today after tomorrow and so on. And when that happens, spontaneity, how will I put it now? The naturality of intimacy is taken away. And the purpose for which it is given somehow begins to be eroded. Even at this point, some partners just shut down emotionally. They're just there, waiting for the conception. No joy. But all these things work hand in hand. A merry heart doeth good like medicine. But of course, what it means is that in the midst of sadness, even the workings of the body can begin to malfunction. Some partners shut down emotionally. The take home here is that strong communication can rebuild closeness. Once you're able to open up to each other, share with each other, when you begin to feel that the other person is becoming mechanical, share your concern. Or even when you feel that you're beginning to shut down emotionally, share your concern. Because marriage is more than children. Well, so men and women may react differently. That is another thing. The way a man will react may be different from the way a woman will react, generally. Men tend to keep their emotions inside. They internalize a lot. But women may feel intense pressure and mood changes. And because of that, the way they respond, the time comes when the man begins to see things differently. He begins to take it, he begins to read meanings to some of the reactions he's seeing from his wife. So when it concerns men and women, coping styles may differ. And when you talk about coping styles, you will have adaptive coping styles, and you have maladaptive coping styles. This is the time when you begin to see some people begin to take substances, drugs, alcohol as a way of coping with their emotional challenges as a result of infertility. Understanding each other reduces this conflict. Some may even become overly religious. That may be their coping strategy. That is the time they begin to go from place to place, mountain to mountain. And the truth of the matter is that no matter how long you stay on the mountain, until you come down and have intimacy, nothing will happen. Sometimes the rules and regulations that are given by some of the places, I call them the unhelpful helpers. All these unhelpful helpers, even though they, for whatever reason, what they say, what they counsel may even be counterproductive. But that is the time for couples to understand each other. And when they do, the conflict is reduced. Then we'll have the family, culture, and then faith pressures. Questions from relatives can hurt. Everyone is asking you questions. And what happened? Is it not time for you to have a child? Parents will say, when are you going to give me my grandchild? Am I going to die before having a grandchild? What are you doing? What is going on with you? If you have a problem, come, let me take you to so and so prophet. All these questions sometimes can hurt because they are not empathetic. They don't take into consideration what the individual is going through. And that is the time that you begin to have unwanted advice that add to stress. We have heard so much about, advices that are given to people because they are, on the journey to conception. They are told to do different kinds of things. Go and have your bath naked on the road or by the stream, whatever, eat so and so thing for so and so time, give charity to this and that. At the end of the day, all these things become even more stressful. Some struggle spiritually and then begin to feel guilty because you are giving tall orders to do this. And then when you fail, you start to feel guilty that maybe it's because you did not complete, the spiritual exercise that you've been given. Imagine someone that is asked to fast, for 7 days, starting from the beginning of your period, fast for 7 days. Then after that 7 days, you begin to, yes, after 7 days, you begin to apply olive oil, for another 7 days. Even though these things, if you look at the background, sometimes it is not really spiritual. It's just someone playing tricks. Because we all know that conception will usually take place around the ovulation period, which is about the middle of your cycle. So they give you some rituals to perform around that period. And when you perform those rituals, they are expecting that somehow what we call self-fulfilling prophecy will take place. And then somebody will say, yes, I have done a miracle. But when you fail, for one reason or the other, it brings in a lot of guilt. However, let us understand that faith should bring strength and not shame. So if you begin to feel ashamed, it is not, it's not faith, it is something else. All right, so just for us to understand what I'm saying, if you begin to struggle spiritually, don't feel guilty because faith is meant to bring strength and not shame. All right, sometimes it can become even more serious when the time is lingering on, and you begin to experience persistent sadness. You begin to feel, hopeless. And anytime you are going for procedures, you begin to panic. When you begin to get deep into all these things, it is very important that you might need some professional support. Because what it simply means is that it's getting more serious. The emotional reaction is getting more serious. Persistent sadness, feelings of hopelessness, panic, even loss of or poor concentration, irrational guilt. When you start to feel these things, even your sleep also may be affected so much that you are having very little sleep. And even sometimes too, you may find that you are not able to eat because you don't have appetite. You struggle to eat. When you start to feel these things, please seek some professional support because it's very important. Now, talking about pregnancy loss and medical stress, treatments can be physically and emotionally draining. Of course, I know many of us have experienced it when you go for treatment. All these treatments are not, you're just taking tablets here and there. The examinations, the fact that you have to open up before strangers to be explored. Sometimes you have multiple people in the room, 3 people, 4 people, opposite sex, all looking at you, and that feeling of embarrassment may be there. That's why I call it physical and emotional drain. Sometimes people begin to dread going for treatment or going for examinations. But understand that anytime your mood, your emotions are compromised, these affect your hormones. And these hormones also affect your mood. Whenever you have, maybe you eventually conceive, and after a while, there's a miscarriage, that also brings deep pain. In fact, it's like the actual loss of a child, which means that you go through the normal grief process. First, the shock, the anger, the bargain, then depression, before you gradually try to accept it and begin to try again. Grief must be processed, not ignored. Now, let's just quickly look at the unhelpful ways of coping, different ways that people try to cope with these emotional difficulties on this journey. The first I would like to talk about is when you are pretending to be fine when you are not. What we may call denial, living in denial. That itself is an unhelpful way of coping, because what you are doing is that you are bottling up the emotions, of course, waiting to explode one way or the other. Then another way people try to cope, with this emotional stress or emotional consequences is when we avoid conversations. You don't want to talk about it because you feel that each time you talk about it, it makes you feel sad. And as a result of that, because you dodge talking about it, you don't bring it out. And sometimes, even in the absence of conversations, what is helpful you will not get to know about it. It's not all conversations around it that would produce or that would be counterproductive. We don't have to avoid conversations all the time, as long as it is constructive conversations. Another unhelpful way of coping is turning to alcohol or unhealthy habits. Some people feel that, well, let me drink and forget my sorrow. It's an unhelpful way of coping. As a matter of fact, alcohol itself is even counterproductive, to the hormones that aid fertility. Going into alcohol is definitely a wrong way to cope. And then some that go into other forms of substance abuse in order to dull their emotions from the emotional pain. That is also counterproductive. Some that will go into tramadol, codeine. They take the codeine and say it helps me to sleep. But these things are counterproductive. Sometimes people hide pain behind spiritual language without healing. They hide how they feel. How are you doing? It is well. Of course, we must be optimistic. We must hope for the best. But faith is not denial. Faith is holding on to the promise that you have been given. And that if God has done it for one person, he will do it for the other. So hiding behind spiritual language is another form of maladaptive coping. So what are the healthy ways to cope? Challenge negative thoughts. Yeah, these thoughts, negative thoughts are constantly coming. Or maybe it will never happen. Maybe it's because of what I did in the past, or maybe because I'm cursed, or maybe it's because my family is cursed, maybe my husband is this, maybe the devil is just using my husband to do this, or maybe it is one woman in the village that is doing this. When you fill your mind with all these negative thoughts, they are counterproductive. So when these negative thoughts come, challenge them. You have not conceived because of your mother-in-law. Challenge it. What is the motive? Why will my mother-in-law prevent my conception? Why will I even have a mother-in-law today? If not because she was able to have a child. If she did not eat her child, why would it be her grandchild that she will eat? Challenge those negative thoughts. Sometimes it's very helpful to talk openly about the way you feel. Then most importantly, join support groups. Para is one group, that has been very helpful to people on this journey. Maybe you are just tuning in because you were invited, for this monthly meeting, and you have not been a member. I believe that when the time comes and you are told about the activities of Para, you find that it is a very supportive group. You need to join groups like that so that you will grow with others, learn with others, know what you can do or what others have been able to do to arrive at where they are. Sometimes even listening to the stories of others will encourage you and to know that, well, some people had even stayed longer than you, and eventually their time came for testimony. Also, make time for rest and relaxation. You are too tense. Relax. You cannot change the situation by just overly overworking yourself. Make time for rest and relaxation. When you do that, then you allow the body to do its work. Of course, I'm not saying that if you do everything, it's a guarantee that the very next day conception will take place. But of course, a little here, a little there of doing the right thing will gradually take you closer and closer to your testimony. So make time for rest and relaxation. Then there are some very simple stress relief skills. There is the breathing exercise, slow, deep breathing. Of course, there are different versions of it. And learning this will also help, to keep you stress-free from time to time. This very simple one, I would lead us into it again. Just take a deep breath through your nose. Hold for a few seconds. Hold the breath for a few seconds. Then you now breathe out slowly through your mouth. Just this way. I can't see you. I think you can see me. But if you can try it just for a few seconds, we can see how it works. So let's go. 1, 2, go. In. Hold it for a few seconds. Then out slowly through your mouth. Then you can do it again. Let's go. In. Hold it for a few seconds. Then out slowly through your mouth. If you have done it very well, you will see that somehow you felt a little more relaxed. Now, if you do that consistently, that is one way to keep your life stress-free. It's a simple stress relief skill that you can do anywhere, anytime. Of course, not while you are driving. And if you do it very well at night, even when sleep is proving to be difficult, if you do it very well and your body is well relaxed, sleep will come in less than no time. Then stay present instead of worrying about what if this, what if that. Stay in the present. Leave the past behind. Stay in the present and hope for the future. Grounding yourself during stressful moments is also very important. Learn to calm your body before medical procedure. There are some people, no matter what, no matter how calm they are, once you bring the machine for taking their blood pressure will just skyrocket just because of anxiety. Learn to calm your body before the medical procedures, because these are the things that will even aid all the different efforts like IVF and so on. All right, so learn to calm your body before medical procedures. All right, hypnotherapy also works. I know that we don't have many hypnotherapists in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, I am one of the very few practitioners of hypnotherapy in Nigeria, perhaps maybe the only certified hypnotherapist in Nigeria. But there are still people who practice hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy is not magic. It's a medical, sanctioned by the American Psychiatric Association and even the British Medical Association to have sanctioned hypnotherapy as far back as 60 years or more. And it's something that is used in the Western world. It helps your body relax and reduces stress. It's no magic. It also helps in guiding imagery and helps to build hope and calmness. Sometimes when you can see something, you will have it. Like I always say, whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. Most things that we see in the physical were first conceived in the spirit or in the abstract world. It helps to align your mind and body together, and it reduces fear before treatment cycles. So if you have opportunity of getting some hypnotherapy inputs, please don't hesitate, because it can also help deal with some of these emotional um, issues that may come as a result of infertility. Of course, better communication as a couple is very important. It's very, very important. Communication is key. Instead of you always, use I feel instead of you always. Communicate better. Avoid um, things that will appear confrontational. Avoid languages that tend to impute blame on others or on your partner. Then set aside time to talk honestly. Sometimes when you talk and you express how you feel, then your partner knows where you are and knows how to support. It's very important that when you are making decisions, that you make them together, not everyone to his tent or everyone on his own. Also, build intimacy beyond trying to conceive. Intimacy is not all about conception. It's a blessing on its own. So build it. It also even helps to relieve stress. And when cycles fail, allow yourself to grieve. It's natural. Don't suppress it. Don't pretend that it didn't hurt. It's normal. See setbacks as part of the process. Sometimes people go once and they come back with testimony. Some will go twice, some will go thrice. The important thing is that at the end of the journey, at the end of the day, there is a testimony, and infertility becomes fertility, and you have, children, which are, which is exactly what you have dreamt of. So protect your unity during disappointments. Well, sometimes when you have done all and it looks like what you are expecting does not come, there are other things you can also consider, because your mental health is very important. You can consider other factors. Even sometimes on your journey to fertility, on your journey to having children, there are some of these things that you can still do to reduce the level of emotional distress that you have. You can adopt or foster. You can live a fulfilled life without children. Now, I'm not trying to in any way make you not expect. Definitely expect your miracle. It will come. But while you are waiting, live a fulfilled life even before the children come. Make decisions based on values, not pressure. Your identity is bigger than this outcome. Protect your mental health. Very important. Limit social media comparison. Social media is full of all kinds of things. Many of the things that you watch or you see in social media are fake. So avoid comparison. This one you say, I put salt and water and I mix it with pepper, and the next day I conceived. You rush and you go and try it. And then later on you start wondering, why is it that others are doing very silly things and they get results and you are not? Leave those things. Some of those things are not substantiated. Limit social media comparison. Then set financial and emotional boundaries. It's very important. Build a safe support circle. Have people that you can fall back on. Like I talked about the support group. Para is a very good example. Build a safe support group. Family support is also very important. Even support between you and your spouse is very important. Then watch for early signs of burnout. When you are trying too hard, it will definitely lead to burnout. And burnout will lead to other aspects of distress. I can't go into all that now. Then watch for early signs of burnout. We have reflection exercises that I want you to undertake. Some very simple questions that I want you to ponder on. Like, what has been your hardest moment? You can write it down. What has been your hardest moment on this journey? So what thoughts made it harder? Then how did you respond? Then what healthier response can you try next time? What has been your hardest moment? What thought made it harder? How did you respond? What healthier response can you try next time? So on a final note, infertility does not define your worth. Emotional healing is part of the treatment. Real hope is built on resilience. Your story is still being written. Thank you very much. I'm done with the presentation.
Thank you so very much, sir. That was so powerful. Can we just appreciate our guest this morning? I cannot tell you, even me that is not even trying to conceive again. I'm going to take care of my stress level. I'm going to take care of my mental health. Mental health is real, especially on this journey. Once again, sir, I want to say a very thank you to you this morning for taking out time to share those wonderful tips with us. We appreciate you for your time. We thank you. We thank you so much. We appreciate you. And you have always been a partner of Para Family Foundation. And we just want to say thank you for remaining a
Inviting me
strong
once again.
support, even for us. Thank you. Because every time I said, sir, we need you, you always show up. I just want to appreciate you. We so much appreciate that on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Yes.
Okay. So right about now, we're just going to go um into our announcement, and then from there we will do our confession. And I want to say that before we go into that, you need to really be deliberate about quitting certain things that you are used to doing. Worry cannot give you babies. We've said that over and over again. You have to do away with negative thinking, overthinking, negative thoughts, and what have you. Just like you have had, faith brings strength and not shame. And then you stop, blaming yourselves. As a woman, stop blaming yourself. As couples, stop blaming each other. This journey is for the two of you. You should stop blaming each other and quit loneliness. You need to speak out. It is when you don't speak out, that is when you're lonely, that is when you have mental issues, that is when you lose your self-worth. So instead of losing your self-worth, we would advise and encourage you to self-love yourself. Do what will give you joy. As a couple, do it together. Even as individual, do it together. Self-love is what you need, and you encourage each other. We cannot talk, too much about mental health concerning infertility, and you need to be deliberate about it. Not even with what is going on around the world. You need to be, mentally ready, even for the blessing to come. Thank you once again. That's just, a wrap up of the session. Nasa, if you would just stop sharing, I would like to share our okay announcement quickly before we go ahead. I want to remind us that this year has been declared our year of increase. It's our year of increase. So be deliberate to declare it to your family. If you have a dining set in your house, for example, and you have six chairs surrounding it, and it's just the two of you, or maybe someone also stays with you. You need to decree to those shares that these 6 years, before the end of this year, people will see, your children will sit on it. That's the increase we're talking about in para. So you need to declare those words to yourself. Okay, so like I said, for the benefits of those that are just joining us this morning, this is Para Family Foundation. We are an NGO, we are not a church, but we have a vision to support every couple as we partner with God for the restoration of hope to families in the area of fruitfulness. And we do this by, you know, um, like I said, we partner with God. And then the mission, we carry this out by encouraging you, counseling you, and also through seminars like this, like we have this morning. We have access to some medical, professionals that support the vision or the foundation. We counsel you, like I said, through live teachings and enlightenment programs. And some of our programs, you will know about them as we go ahead. The area of focus for us in para is spiritual, and it's medical, and it's family life. We just touch on family life. Mental health is under family life for us because we are talking about your total self. And of course, medical is the various options that are available for you in the treatment of infertility. And of course, we can't take spiritual out of it. God is the giver of life. God is the one that gives babies. God is the one that declares fruitfulness to us. So we do not joke with the spiritual aspect in para family. Our monthly meetings takes place every second Thursday of the month, which is usually virtual. It's our prayer meeting. We just had one last Thursday, and our monthly meeting was every third Saturday of the month, virtual and physical. When it is virtual, we announce it. When it is physical, we also announce it. So you can get in touch with us to get more details about our monthly meetings. We have also our Abeokuta Center. There's a peer-led fertility group in Abeokuta. If you know anyone around that axis, you can also ask them to contact us for further details, and we'll link them up with the Abeokuta team. So also in the United Kingdom as well, we have a host that leads the group in the United Kingdom. And also in the United States, we have what we call Para Resolve in conjunction or in collaboration with a national infertility um, um, group, even in the US. They are called Resolve. So we partner with them and we support some uh, families also that go through a challenge. And basically, it's a virtual meeting and it's held around Houston, Texas. Also, we have counseling, facility counseling for our members only. For our members only, every Tuesday, beginning from 12, between the hours of 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. But you need to register through a Google form for us to be able to give you a free counseling session. But if you must cancel within 24 hours before the time that you have picked. Otherwise, you're going to pay a fee to get into the next session. So call the numbers showing on the screen or send email to parafamily@gmail.com if you need any further information. And apart from the counseling session, free counseling session for para members, I also have a personalized counseling session. If you want a personalized counseling session, you can also reach out to us and we give you more details on that. There's also an app that has been developed that have various features that are free. We would encourage you to download it. If you can screenshot the screen QR code, it will take you, or you go to Google Play Store, you will find it there, Fertility Connect. You will find it on Google Play. Just we encourage everyone to uh, download it on your phone. You have BMI calculator, the ovulation calculator is there, ovulation tracker is there, facility clinics and some institutions are there as well, and we're adding more to them. And so you can subscribe to it, it's free. But when you get into booking for consultation, then you may have to find other information on it. So it's a good tool for you to have as you go on this journey. We have our youth fertility awareness initiative, and this is a vision that we are also on to create awareness and guidance to youth and adolescents on sexual and reproductive health. Because we found out that a whole lot of issues that we have after marriage actually started while we were younger, but we never, took note of them. So we are on this mission to create awareness to the youth and adolescents, and we do this through collaboration with secondary school. We have a project we call Press, that we use this project to bring out this knowledge, to these youths and young adults as well. If you have a school alumni you want to partner with us, we can also bring it to your old students association or alumni, secondary school, churches and youth groups as well. You can contact us and we'll give you more information regarding that. So you can follow us on all social media handle, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube as well. And the social media handle is at Para Family. That's Para Family. So we'll just quickly take on our confession right about now before we close for the day. We take our confession quickly. We We do not take this confession lightly at all because it has given us so much testimony as you meditate on them, on the wordings, because it is life. It will bring life to you in Jesus' name. So let's take our confession together.
Amen.
Your testimony is next. Can you say that out loud to yourself this
Our
morning?
testimony is next in
It's
Jesus' name.
next. Your
Next in Jesus' name.
testimony is next.
Amen.
So we want to appreciate everyone that have joined us this morning. We thank our special guests, our teacher, our trainer this morning, Dr. Leonard Okonkwo. Thank you once again for being with us and for those wonderful um, teachings that you have given unto us. And as we go this morning, I just want to encourage us that as we have gotten clarity this morning, we should go and do likewise. And likewise, I meant quit worrying, quit negative thoughts, self-love yourself, and come down from the mountain and enjoy intimacy. Have a wonderful weekend and see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Mama, ẹ káàárọ̀ mà.